in September, I was having lunch at the Pret in Victoria with Julie, Olga, James, Margot, and Katerina, as you guys remember. And I remember sharing to those who were in the room and in the replay that I, as many people do at Pret, they gave me a complimentary coffee. But what I hadn't shared deeper was the connection and the conversation I had with the incredible woman who served me. Her name was Pia, who the reason she gave me the complimentary coffee was because 45 minutes prior, I told her I wanted a cookie, and then I ended up eating my lunch and I was kind of full. And when I came back up, she remembered of please take the cookie, you really wanted it. And she insisted, and then that led to a conversation about accepting acknowledgements, accepting gifts, receiving. And I had insisted on, please, you don't have to do this, Pia. I'm okay, really, I'm so full. She said, please, at least let me give you a coffee. And I knew Katerina wanted one, so I accepted the coffee to give it to Katerina. And that was it for me. And this is what's so beautiful about going out in the world and creating with this exceptional group, is I get there, and everybody around me was like, Julian, like if you're open to it, maybe, I think it was maybe you, Julie, who created the possibility for me to email the customer service, or the manager of Pia, and let her know what an exceptional woman she was, because I had taken the time to acknowledge Pia right there and then, but I left it there. So they put in the possibility for me. I get back to Spain the week after AJC. I must admit, it took me a few days, really. I left it kind of on the lower side of the priority list, which for me is a really big takeaway as well. And I emailed the manager of the Pret of Victoria, really long email, which I'm very happy to put on the group chat later if people would like to read, where I just shared and acknowledged the hell out of Pia. Like everything, I acknowledged the way she received me, the way she treated me, the way she was so friendly, so kind, and I shared all the context I just gave all of you. And I left it there. I got an email back from, I think, her manager, her direct boss, thanking me for the beautiful email, and I answered back, and then that was it. Fast forward to now, literally 45 minutes ago, we're walking by the Pret, we were not having lunch there. We're actually supposed to go get coffee somewhere else. And as we're walking, we're talking, I look at the Pret and I see the lovely Pia. So I walk in while they're all talking, and I said, hi Pia, do you remember me? She comes, gives me a massive hug, and we start talking, and then these guys are watching. I call them over because I want to introduce Pia to them. And it was so beautiful because the first thing, and this is where I will end, and I'd love to get the rest now for you guys to hear what happened after. But what was so beautiful is Pia calls up her assistant manager and the woman that I had emailed, that I didn't know she was there. And apparently the email went to the entire organization, and everybody knew how amazing Pia was. But the entire organization there was saying that the email went out to all of them. I mean, it's really her. Like, I really don't want to take credit for any of this. Like, she is incredible, really, and so much so that when Raghav comes up, she recognizes Raghav, and Raghav says, "Wow, you are the woman who has been serving me so beautifully." And anyway, I don't want to speak for you, and I'd love, maybe we can start with you, because you came up right after and started speaking. I'd love for you to share your experience of what you witnessed and how it unfolded. Thank you for listening to me.
Michael, can I make a request of you? Sure. Could you hold my tea?
Bold request.
So in all honesty, I was looking at Julian and I was blown away because I love Pret. I'm a Pretaholic. I have the subscription, and I was so blown away at how Pia was with Julian, and she gave him such a big hug, and I was fascinated by that. I can't remember who was talking, what was being said, but I just got distracted and I was just like, wow. And you called us over and there was such incredible stuff. And we just spent time acknowledging them. And I said something that I don't often say, I don't normally say, very out of characteristic, but I said, this is the best Pret I've ever never said something like that before. Actually, it astounded me, the words as they came out of my mouth. But it really is the best Pret, because I go around to a lot of Prets. I can tell you where all the Prets are within this area, and this one has got a buzz, it's a brightness that's filled from the warmth of all the team. Every time I go into another Pret, I feel like people are just doing their jobs, and it's great. Here, I felt like I can't remember the exact Hindi translation, maybe Nikhil, you can help me out with this, but in India there's this expression that means our guests are our gods, and all the hotels live by that in India, and it's beautiful. And this is the first place I've walked into in the UK where I felt like I'm in Indian hospitality. The way she was, and I'm not kidding, if you go to India and you're in the hotels, people treat you like you are God, and it's so moving, and it's really touching. So I was in Pred, and I got so moved by the way they were being so warm with us. They said, can we give you guys free coffee? And I don't want to be rude, so I said, sure. I don't want to insult. So we gladly took the free coffee, but they were so warm and loving with us, and I was so touched. And I've got an idea of what we can give them as a gift, by the way, above and beyond the books. But I was just blown away, and what I said to these guys is, let's get the email, and individually, let's all acknowledge them again, saying that we came in, they looked after us so beautifully. I've never seen anything like this before in London. This is an extraordinary team. You need to hang on to Dricia, Pia, Ariel, and the entire team. What I was thinking we can do as a gift is, you know how on, what do you call it? In LA, they have like the placards on the floor. We can get them like a frame with the best Pret in London and like a star on it, and give them like a little box of chocolates with some books or something like that. Because I've never seen anything like it. They were so generous, and where that was created from was the depth of acknowledgement. And someone said, Raghav, I love how you created them. I wasn't even doing the creating stuff. Like genuinely, that is the best Pret. These are incredible people. They're so warm, loving, touching. And when you speak to that, it's incredible what it wakes up in them. Because I can imagine all the customers that go in, day out, and say stuff like, my coffee's not hot enough, because I've never done that before. Like this, or this isn't good enough, or that, or whatever. They never hear acknowledgement. And when it's done with love from the heart, it's just obvious to do what Julian did. It wasn't boldness, it wasn't courage, it wasn't confidence, any of that buzzwords. It's just what love does, right? That's why I don't believe in the idea of being bold. I believe when you're in your heart, it's obvious to do the stuff that people think is bold. Because it's not bold, it's just genuine, it's real, it's effortless, it's seamless, and it creates practices. But the worst thing it will do, the lowest result, is you'll grow your coaching practice, and that's the least valuable result. And Julian was a demonstration of that today, so thank you. And special thanks to Michael for fulfilling my request. I will now complete the request.
So I don't like coffee from Pret, but I was so we had this part of one of the exercises about assumptions, how we assume before we do anything, and I felt like, oh my God, I didn't know they would even care about these kind of stuff, you know. I would assume that they just, you know, they do their jobs, and that's their job. That's it. And I felt like, oh, maybe people do care, and actually, when they are acknowledged, they actually care even more, and they get better at this. And it actually, afterwards, I got thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm being very cynical about stuff like that in my daily life. So I would say that, yeah, it was a very astonishing experience, especially when I was looking at Julian, because but yeah, it was incredible, and they were genuinely happy. They gathered, they took a picture, and it was surreal. For the first time, I was actually on the back side of the coffee counter, and it was cool as well. So
They invited us at the back so we
Yeah.
could take a picture.
yeah. So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, it was a beautiful moment to witness, because Pia's face when she saw you, Julian, it was just priceless. She hugged you like she never wanted to let go. You did something really meaningful for her. And what I want to share is when we practice these things, going and talking to strangers, finding out their dream, acknowledging them, acknowledging people, it can be sometimes a little bit messy. Today I was more of a bystander. I think you did what you did beautifully. But I on Friday when we did that challenge with Shadi and Raghav, where we're supposed to go, I think some people know about this, so we were sent out to either make an outrageous request in a shopbook or somewhere, or to talk to a stranger and find out what's in their heart. And I had this, I had a conversation with someone who worked in a cafe, and I found out that she was from Italy and that she was the manager there, and her dream was opening up her own cafe together with her boyfriend who's a chef. And well, by the end, I went back later that day to talk to her again, and by the end she gave me her address and an email address. We decided to keep in touch. I want to gift her a book, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's not something I normally do. So for me that was a stretch, but there were some sort of slightly awkward moments, but overall it flowed, and overall I was just being me, and we connected, and I realized we had some things in common, and then I kind of relaxed, and then we were both smiling, and so I just encourage you to try it, even when it is messy. That's my big takeaway.
There's a lot of going first going on this weekend, and that's what I experienced. I'm not surprised at all that Pierre came over and gave this man a hug. He's so gorgeous, isn't he?
Hell yeah!
Oh, wow! Absolutely. So yeah, I was quite taken aback first of all. I thought you were actually brother and sister, maybe, or perhaps, I don't know. But I couldn't believe the connection, an absolutely wonderful connection. When everyone else was drawn in, and then Raghav stepped forward, and my goodness me, absolutely phenomenal in action, and it was just acknowledgement, loving service. With a confidence, and I'm going to pick you up on the confidence bit, that I dream of for me. And then walking back, suddenly realised, oh shit, you don't need confidence when you come from love.
Yeah.
And that's a big takeaway for me. And I've got a
Are we supposed to finish it?
I have an action, Ralph, cover your ears. I've got a coffee shop not too far away from me that begins with S, and they have got an absolutely outstanding team. They are amazing. Same thing, warmth, service, kindness. They know us when we walk in, they know what we're going to be ordering, and sometimes if I change my coffee I have to say, oh no, it's this time. Very rare. Just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So my action is I'm going there and give them the acknowledgement they need.